Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Washingtonville Board of Trustees meeting today, August 17th, 2021. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. If you need an agenda, it's on the front table. Let's see, okay. The announcements that I have are really questions that were given by a resident. I could put them off until towards the end of the meeting. I'd like to go down to new business 3A, an appointment of Amanda J. Griswold Chesky. Wow, right? Okay. As a full-time police dispatcher for the Village of Washingtonville Police. Someone want to
I'll
make a motion?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call. Trustee Kalua?
Yes.
Trustee Sampson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lodato?
Yes.
Mayor Bucko? Yes. Thank you, welcome. It was quick, 1 year and 3
In 2 minutes.
Thank you very much.
but had nothing to do with us, had to do with COVID.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being persistent, determined, and welcome to the Village of Washingtonville. I'm sure we're going to see great things.
I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you again. I'm just so happy I don't have to say that again. No, I have here. I'm prepared, okay. Car wash for the Washingtonville Seahawks, Trustee Lodato. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you. The Washingtonville High School Girls Varsity Swim and Dive Team submitted a facility use request form for Sunday, August 29th, from 10 in the morning till 2 p.m. I did discuss this with them. They originally requested the municipal lot, but we as a board said, I think a couple of years ago at this point, that we would no longer use that lot because the water is, I'll use the word not free, it's village taxpayers pay for it. So it will be moved to Memorial Park, right off of Ahern Boulevard. And I think, I just have to check with Chris Martino to make sure that the hookup is, okay, so it's all set.
Ready to go?
So it's for Memorial Park, not what you see on your screen. Or on your copy.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Trustee Kalua, second.
I'll second.
Trustee Sampson. Roll call. Trustee Kalua.
Yes.
Trustee Sampson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lodato.
Yes.
Mayor Bucko. Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry, what was the date?
August 29th from,
August 29th?
yes,
You taking your car?
Yeah.
Yes.
10 to 2.
The reason, just to carry a little bit further with what Trustee Lodato was saying, there was a well dug at Memorial Park several years ago. It cannot be put, the water cannot be put into a system for a number of reasons. So it's free water, okay? It's not going to be metered. Actually, we're going to send letters out to the fire companies, neighboring fire companies. If they need to fill their tank trucks, please go up to Municipal Memorial Park to fill up their trucks. Our sweeper will be using that to fill up the street sweeper. So we're going to put something bad into something good use. So So the DPW, along with JCO, had to do a little fixing of the piping. There's a hose bib out there right now. They will, there's a switch inside the building. That switch would be put outside the building, but behind the gate, so it is protected from anybody just coming in and turning on the pumps. Okay, so, thank you. Now, 3C, I'd like to set a public hearing date for the water sewer facility of September 21. I emailed everyone the proposal from Delaware Engineering dated August 4th. Pretty interesting. It came to our attention a while ago that the way that we do billing, the sewer usage cannot be based on water consumption or water usage. So we are, and I had asked Delaware Engineering Tracy Letter, who is the person in charge of this, when did this take effect? And she said 1996. So I was kind of relieved that it didn't happen in 2017. But like everything else, it's just piece by piece, we are making corrections to the system of what's been going on. So as people call up or they come in to pay their water bill, we have been telling them that there is a public hearing set for September 21 at 7:15, so we'll start the meeting 7 o'clock, take care of old business, and then this will be new business. And hopefully we could open and close this meeting that same night. But there will be a presentation, water rates, and the whole restructuring of what we have. 3D, the short and long-term rental. I really wanted to close this meeting tonight, but I'll be honest with you, I don't believe it was publicized in the paper. That's on me. So we're going to keep it open till September 21 that same night. I apologize for that. Further, 3E, further discussion on the New York State cannabis law. Stephanie from Will Frank's office, Stephanie Turnick, will be sending in the information that we need to know. And hopefully we could set a public hearing on the 21st of September. I think everyone needs to be well informed over what the pros and cons are. I think we all feel the same way, but feelings might change after we know more information. 3G, zoning board, planning board update.
Okay, so just want everyone to be aware that the zoning board of appeals meeting that was scheduled for Thursday, August 19th has been canceled. And then the update from the building department, there were 22 building permits issued, one of which is a new home, 17 violations issued, 9 municipal searches completed, and 1 fire and safety inspection completed. That's all I have for now.
Can you just say those numbers again? I'm sorry.
Sure. 22 building permits, 17 violations issued, 9 municipal searches, 1 fire and safety inspection completed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, before we go to public comment on the agenda items, I'd just like to read the questions from a resident that came in today. Resident is Sean Haggerty, who cannot make it here tonight. There's 4 questions with the answers that I found for him. Question 1, has the board obtained written documentation regarding whether Riga Development owes $1,000 in parks and recreation funding to the village for each unit developed in the High Grove development? Talking with the Riegers, they built a recreation building at Woodfield. That was part of the agreement. That houses men's and women's bathrooms, concession stand for the Woodfield softball field, and a large garage area that will eventually become a well house. Presently, it's the winter home of our street sweeper. I asked Mr. Rieger if he could look through their files for the original paperwork and agreement not find them here in this building. It could be because they got lost in the flood, but it did not flood where their home office is. So I'm waiting on that. Question number 2, is there an update on the skateboard park in Ahern Boulevard? Mayor Bucko previously committed to look into the park repairs. I could say I have not looked into any new skateboard equipment for this area. I've had conversations about making an ice skating rink for this area. We have not moved forward with anything at this location. Number 3, the water shutoff on the road on High Grove Drive between units 16 and 17 is still leaking. When will this be repaired properly? Conversations with Ian Rieger and John Petrozzini, the village engineer, for that development. We believe it falls under the maintenance bond for that project. If I am wrong, the DPW would be repairing it. We are looking at the maintenance bond right now, so Rieger could start repairing it, unless, of course, that bond, and I don't believe it expired, the maintenance bond, because that road is still under construction. What are the village's plans for the Secord Lane pipe? Secord is a road off of Emerson. Meeting in conversation with Mike Aiello of Delaware Engineering. His initial reaction is that there's nothing wrong with the piping. We could be putting more covering on top of it. Mike and I will have more conversation on this matter, but it will not be part of the Emerson Drive paving project. So, Sean, wherever you are, hope you're enjoying yourself. Public comment on agenda items.
I can tell you there was no notice in the newspaper about the public hearing for the tenant laws.
Okay, so I did the right thing. No other questions? Anybody in the back?
Don't be bashful.
Please step forward and state your name. Okay. Public comment on non-agenda items.
You have something you wanted to say?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So I believe I did raise this question last time I was here. What is the village's bond rating?
I spoke with our financial people this week. It is 1A.
Okay, and how many bonds does the village currently have open?
I want to say 4.
Okay.
Okay, it could be.
I thought there were 6.
No.
Did we pay off 2?
We have been paying bonds off. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I just made a bond payment of $130,000 yesterday, I believe, for this building. We have to make a bond payment on our wastewater plant November 1st for $389,000, I believe. We sold bonds. I think you had questioned this the last time.
Right.
Okay. We get funded tomorrow for that sale, and it goes right out Thursday.
So,
Okay, to satisfy that bond for this year.
okay. So just a couple of comments in regards to the residents' question about the Woodfield and that park, and whether each lot had to pay. We were supposed to pay a $1,000 park fee. If my old dusty brain remembers correctly, because Rieger's had that project on the books here, I want to say well over 20 years it's been in the making. Somewhere about between 2006, 2007, that was the trade-off concession that was made because there were questions about the road that goes into the High Grove was not yet dedicated. It was still rough, and the residents were complaining who were in Woodfield of the road because it had not been brought up to grade. So as part of that whole, what can we do to make everybody happy? The donation of the recreation and the facilities was done by Rieger.
Yes, they're building. Yes.
Right, that's my old dusty brain there. I do have one comment also for the board. As much as I love La Villa, and I've had many of their watermelon margaritas,
We won't get into.
But we're not
habits.
getting into our drinking habits. As part of COVID, they were allowed to expand their outdoor dining, which is great and awesome. However, they have the only handicap ramp to that plaza. So somebody in a wheelchair cannot get into the pharmacy if La Villa is closed. So I don't know if you can get into some kind of discussions with the property owner to make that plaza fully handicap accessible again, as required by New York State law.
Yep, I will follow up. with-
And it's
I will
nothing
have-
against them, like I said.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see the restaurant thriving. I'm just trying to think of all the village residents, and somebody who has mobility issues can't access that area.
That's a good point, okay.
And neither can UPS actually. With their cards, they're quite upset about it.
yes, I had the UPS, along that same line, UPS driver who would probably lift me up, had a question about that. I said, well, it's either we do this for him and we had to get permission from the landlord at the time, or he goes out of business. So, but it's a good point, we'll bring it up, we'll have an answer for you at our next meeting.
So,
Which, by the way, our next meeting is September 7th. It's a Tuesday. Labor Day is September 6th. I think we already have it on the calendar, okay, but I just want to remind everyone, especially the people in the back. So September 7th at 7 p.m. is a work session. So hope everyone could make it there. Anything else?
now I know you guys check, what do you call them, your zones? I noticed a lot of the sewers on the street, some of them are like really bad, broken up and stuff like that.
The catch basins?
Yeah,
DPW continues to work on the catch basins.
so,
I was happy to see the state this week actually cleaning out their catch basins,
they haven't done mine yet, just
which
saying.
is going to help what we need to get done here as a village, getting the water out of the village and where it needs to be into the creek. They also have been, all the manholes in the village have been inspected. We know which ones need to be improved, so they'll be working on them also. Well, I'm up here 32 years. It's 32 years of not doing anything, that it's
I
finally
completely
being
understand,
addressed.
listen, and it's a constant battle, it's not easy, you do it one and done, it's, you know, it's, especially in an area like this that's got a lot of hydrogeographical changes going on, especially with deep aquifers being tapped and collapsing because of excessive water use in the county. It changes how our land settles every year. It's just reality.
Anybody on the board, any questions, comments?
When do we get this?
Oh, I put this out there, this is a 40-year-old problem that we had to address. At the end of the cul-de-sac on Buckingham Place, there should be a catch basin that they must have forgot to put in. So that actually becomes a terrible ponding area every time it rains. The nearest catch basin is probably at least 1,000 feet down the road from Newcastle. So Delaware Engineering, Delaware Engineering proposes to put a catch basin in the street itself, not to bother the curb, come underneath the curb. Looking for an easement. The two owners of the property will be getting notified shortly on that. And a 6-inch or an 8-inch pipe will be installed. It has to stop short of the pond into an open area, gravel, and because we don't want any oil from the street, salt from the street to enter the pond. So this is something, I didn't think I'd ever have to go back 40 years, but did. So I lost the bet. Valerie bet me 38 years, this is 40 years. So, once again, Val, you were correct. Right, anybody have anything else?
No.
Okay. Someone like to make a motion to adjourn? Well, before we do that, like I said, the next meeting is September 7th. Please enjoy the Labor Day weekend. And please stay safe, healthy. I don't know what's coming down from the county as far as any mandates, but as of now, at the school board meeting last night, they're recommending, they're leaving it up to the parents, what the parents want their children to do. Whether or not that changes with the mandate, but I'm sure next week, when the new governor is sworn in, I won't make any comment on that. When the new governor is sworn in, I'm sure things will change rapidly. Okay. So,
And on that note, I'll make a motion.
make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Thank you, everyone,
Thank you, everyone.
especially the ones in the back.
Hey, keep that crowd at bay, all right?